You know, I love Jujutsu Kaisen. Actually, before we even begin, let me ask you guys a question. So, have you ever had a moment where you watched a movie and you thought this movie is really good? Or even a series. Movie, series, doesn't matter, live action, animated, doesn't matter what it is. But you thought this was really amazing and I'm going to rewatch this, you know, at some point in the future. But up till now, you still haven't watched it. Have you had that moment? Because that is me. With everything I have ever watched, I tell myself I'm going to rewatch this and I never do. I think the only exception to this are maybe series or movies that it's been so long that I forgot what happened anyway, but I never watch it because I remember what happened and I want to still rewatch it. I've never had that until Jujutsu Kaisen. I think there's something about the anime of this, and everything I'll say in this video is always about the anime. It's just so rewatchable for me. I don't know what it is. Anyway, because I'm assuming if you hear, then you like Jujutsu Kaisen. But this season of Jujutsu Kaisen is incredible. And I don't know what other people are saying about this. So I'm not coming here with knowledge of the popular opinion. Although I do see a lot of people like the characters. I don't know how people feel about the series overall. But this season is incredible. And it's not even done yet. There's so much about the anime that they've put so much effort into that makes it amazing. Like the story, the animation itself, the art styles going on, the pacing, the music. Speaking of the music, remember that one track of like music in the trailer for season 2 that sounded like somebody who'd never played the piano just got on, and you know, sounded like a blind and deaf 5-year-old got onto the keyboard and started. That track, honestly, in what I would say maybe was 2 episodes ago, as when I'm recording this, when we had that moment, and again, okay, actually I should say this right now. Spoilers, guys. Spoilers if you're not at this episode. This, I don't know what it is right now. I'm going to check after the video, but this one here that I put on screen, spoilers. Yeah, when Gojo was running around, that track, honestly, I don't know if there was a better track they could have put. Honestly, just to capture how chaotic, how stressed, how much it felt like he was running out of options and how much he was trying to do his best, and that being what they wanted from him, that just captures it perfectly. And it's all these crazy things which on their own would seem like, why would you make this choice? That just make this season so amazing. Speaking of making it so amazing, guys, like I liked the, what was it called? Akari, the one at the ending, the first ending this season during the flashback, and now like the opening specials. Ooh! Okay, Akari, like just the music, it sounds nice, but specials, I see this scene, I literally just watch the opening because I normally don't watch openings these days of anime because of the spoilers in that from the episodes. But when I see that, when I hear that, you are my, ooh, I just have to stop. But the music is amazing, and not just the music they play during the anime, not just the endings and the openings, but even just the scenes, guys. I made a video, I think the second video on this channel, you guys can go back and check it, where I talked about how amazing, you know, the second ending in Jujutsu Kaisen was, like what that was doing for the series. And so go check that out if you haven't. But once again, this season, they're back at it again, and I think I just love Jujutsu Kaisen. Like, they know why this is good. They clearly know. It wasn't just happenstance. They know. These endings show the characters with their more like softer human sides, natural interactions, because it's easy to get caught up in the fact that these guys are doing crazy things. Even the way they tell Gojo, you're just too strong, right? It's easy to get caught up in that. But like these scenes at the end make you see a more natural human side. You connect with them. You feel the emotions of the moments in the endings. And I really love that. I really love that. And not just in the ending. This season, they've put a lot more. There's been a lot more in the anime episodes as well. Just showing the characters being human, laughing, joking around. Half of the episode of That's How It Is, you know, with that girl who was like, who went to school with Yuji in middle school. And that... that was amazing. Those vibes, I love them. And it was just half an episode, which was really fantastic. It wasn't even a whole kind of episode which had nothing to do with the plot. It was just half an episode. Nice, short, sweet. You get a good laugh and you move on. And I think that's incredible. Also, the art styles. Once again, in that same episode of, you know, That's How It Is, the art styles they did in that were crazy. Like, it's just like the music. If you showed someone like, this is the art style we're using for a professionally done anime, people would be like, clearly it's not professional, is it? If you told people this is the music we're doing for professional grade anime, they'll be like, clearly this is not professional, isn't it? But the fact that they make it work is what gets me. They know what they're doing. They know when to put the music. They know when to draw in this funky style. Because I try to draw like just a quick sketch. No, you can't. I feel like you can't just pick up a pencil and like do it really well to make it look that good, but yet that sloppy. It's almost like a very well-intentioned sloppy. You know what I'm saying? Even the sloppiness itself gives and adds a more human touch in the fact that like it's messy. just like, you know, the way you'd expect the average person who can't draw to draw. Like it's messy, but also the characters look more human because they're not these edgy, cool looking characters with, you know, good sense of fashion all the time. Not everyone has eyes like Gojo. Like it's messy in a way that brings the characters, you know, to a more, I don't know if I'm making sense here, but it's just nice to see. That's all I'm going to say. It's just nice to see. But on to the grand reveal of this episode here, because again, I forgot the episode number, but I'll put it on the screen. This episode right here, the grand reveal, and I guess warning for those of you who are like, yeah, just a warning, because this is some nasty stuff we saw on screen. Even I have to admit it's some nasty stuff. But that reveal was incredible because there's so much misdirection that made it work. There's so much that went into making sure that this was not the obvious thing we thought about. I think one of the biggest things that went into it was just a lot of jumping around we did. Between following the main storyline, seeing flashbacks, seeing those little interviews with characters, like just before Yuji used the Black Flash, you know, we had that interview with Nanami of like, he's the top holder, what have you done? So having those little interviews that cut back to different points, having like the jump backs, like completely in the story when we, you know, between season 1, season 2, we got Jujutsu Kaisen 0, which was like all the way before season 1 happened. And then we got Hidden Inventory, which was even before that. And then now we're back in the main storyline. So we've gotten a lot of jumping around. It's not just that, but also a lot of like seeing the protagonists, also watching the villains and seeing a lot of what they're doing is what contributed to this. Because the reveal that actually Gojo killed Geto, like it makes sense that at the end of Jujutsu Kaisen, that's what happened. It makes sense. But at the same time, it's one of those things where it's like, you could believe it didn't happen because Gojo has stressed so many times that that was his best friend. So even if he didn't kill him, it would make sense that he didn't kill his best friend. You know, he's having a hard time with that. And maybe he will let someone else kill him, but maybe he won't do it with his own hands. So there's so many things. It's kind of like Maki. Like, why is Maki still alive after Jujutsu Kaisen 0, right? Geto meets Maki. He mentions that, like, you know, she's a monkey or whatever at the school. And then later on, she fights him one-on-one and he still doesn't kill her. It's one of those things where it's kind of like, you know, it could make sense. She's a sorcerer. She's fighting and all that kind of stuff. But at the same time, it's like, you could have. So it's all these flashbacks and jumping around. It's all these stuff where it makes sense with the characters and their relationship and playing off of all these things that made that moment. It just made it come together in such a way that, like, I was not expecting. Enough about me fanboying. I'm just gonna add in a little theory here because, you know, just why not? Why not? So apart from just going, because when I saw the brain, I said, my immediate reaction was like, oh my goodness, it's a brain curse. People are afraid of, I think, you know, Mahito is like humans, right? Negative emotion by humans, but like this could be like brain, people, negative emotion about people's minds, fear of people, your own mind and stuff like that. This could be it. But before the episode was over, I was like, this is Tengen. This is Tengen. And I'm just gonna wait for this to happen. Don't tell me if I'm wrong or if I'm right. I don't really want to know. I feel like it could be. Like, it makes too much sense for it not to be. From the fact that, like, he takes over people's bodies and he needs new hosts. And at the time, because of what happened in the Hidden Inventory flashback, Tengen needed a new body. Like, he was reaching that point. So him taking over Geto's body makes sense. And it was mentioned that, you know, when Tengen doesn't get a new body, when he needs it, then it causes him to evolve, which causes him to possibly become a good guy, but possibly become an enemy. And which is why you end up with the brain thingy that we have, where it's like, it's no longer human anymore. Besides, if it was a curse, why would he need to hide the fact that he's a curse from other curses? Unless he's a curse that wants to kill other curses, which would be interesting. So I'm not knocking that out, but it makes sense that he's Tengen because at that point he's not a curse, but he's also not really human either. He's this evolved being, as they mentioned. And once again, Jujutsu Kaisen, with just this idea that it's Tengen, when you look at different pieces of dialogue, it makes sense. Just thinking about the fact that at the end of Hidden Inventory, they said maybe there's another option, maybe something else is gonna happen. You know, maybe someone else was born or someone had to die. Just these little lines of dialogue make so much sense as to why it would be him. But also, it comes back to one of the things Jujutsu Kaisen likes to do, which is brush off stuff that, you know, you want to find out about, but you just accept that, okay, maybe we'll find out about it in the future, and you can't just forget until it gets brought back up. For example, in this case, we have the whole idea of, like, at the end of the attack during the exchange event, the principal was like, I'm gonna go see Tengen, because how did they get into school? If it is Tengen, it makes sense how they go into school. But like, even if it's not Tengen, what happened in that conversation? And how did these guys get into school? So there's just all these little things. Even just when Gojo was attacked, I think this is season 1, episode 8 or 7, I can't remember, Gojo versus Jogo. And then Geto was standing there watching, or what we thought was Geto. He's just like, I can't be seen. So he can build up this moment. So when Gojo finally sees him, he has that shock, which allows him to actually get trapped. It's one of those things where it's like, they make you forget that, yeah, the principal went to talk to Tengen, but we never really got what happened there as to how these guys got in. And even beyond that, you also have the moment of Mekamaru and what happened with Mahito in the end. We assume he died, but like, that was just left hanging about like, you know, where is he now? What's happened to him? But now he came back at the end of the episode. Enough about the theory. But all this, from the music to the art to the animation, I don't even need, it speaks for itself. All of this, and the season isn't even done. I don't even think the season's halfway. Guys, I love Jujutsu Kaisen, and this is all I had to say about it. This whole video is just a love letter to Jujutsu Kaisen. Thanks for watching, guys. As always, I just make videos when I want, so I do have a couple of videos that I want to make pretty soon, but we'll see how it goes. Anyway, thanks for watching. If you like, subscribe, and see you in the next one.